Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Happy Saturday, everybody. Today is July 5th, the day after Independence Day. And Bitcoin is very flat and boring. But that does not mean that we give up and sell our bags. Because we are not here to have fun. We're not here to be weenies. We're here to retire our entire bloodline. So smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. And lock in. Because we're about to make so much money that we're going to be able to single-handedly resolve the United States debt deficit on an individual basis. All right. I'm ready for another week of tariff tantrums. I like tariff tantrums. I feel like that's a good one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Pile on in. Smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for showing up, even though it's ridiculously late for us old folks, myself included. Let's get this webcam on. Hey, all right. Let's see, guys. Bitcoin, 108, 146. Tariff tantrums. Speaking of tariff tantrums, I believe the 9th, which is Wednesday, is our deadline for whatever delay that they had going on to make a trade deal or suffer the consequences that is like really ridiculously insanely high tariffs. So yeah, the 9th is that day. So it should be fun week. Bitcoin dominance 65.46, still struggling to get above the orange trend line, which is great. Can we get a Sunday fake pump? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Let's refresh our liquidation heat map, see where we're at. Appreciate you guys for chilling. No real data next week, so perfect time to highlight tariffs again. Exactly. Yep, they're gonna squeeze in whatever they can as often as they can. Look at this. Look at how obvious this manipulation is. Come on, man. Come on. There's no weekend action. Everyone's busy. I will say, and I could be completely wrong, if I had to guess, in my opinion, in my brain, July, August, like the middle of summer. And I know it's not on the calendar, it just became summer or whatever. I would call July, August the middle of summer. Or maybe July is actually. June is the first month of summer, isn't it? I don't know. Anyways, I assume that if there's going to be like a bad time with low traffic because everyone's busy being summer people because it's nice out, it's going to be July. So that's just my assumption. We'll see what happens. Obviously, this isn't even I have not gone a full 12 months streaming yet. I started streaming, I think, in September. So what's interesting is I can kind of use the data for my views and stuff to gauge the market. Not that I'm like a really I know I'm not pulling in some crazy numbers, but I get really decent numbers when there's volatility, high or low, when the price is pumping or dumping. And then when there's nothing going on, when it's super flat, my numbers kind of stagnate. So it's definitely interesting to observe. Let's see where we're at. We got 109.060. I don't even know if these are even worth marking. What's really fun is that we're at 108,000, which is pretty significant for Bitcoin. 109,280. Let's see, 107,072. And what is that one? 106,851. Okay, yeah, dude, that's such a tight range. They just got us trapped in. And they kind of set it up back here, too. They're like, we like this area. We like this, and we like this. So let's go right in between that. And they just locked us into this squiggly, chunky mess. Jim Derringer said, The VIX is in a lower channel, so some kind of news is brewing. Plus, the overnight lending market had to have the Federal Reserve print $11 billion. On June 30th, last time we got a reading that high, we got COVID. That's true. I did see that news as well. I shouldn't have said that word, but I did. Vahid said, what if this is the future? The weekends for Bitcoin are just flat as though it was a stock. That's 100% what's happened. That is 100% what has happened. If you think about it, ETFs are probably driving the majority of the volume, and people feel safer in regulated ETFs. So instead of buying on the weekends, even like the veteran cryptocurrency investors, they probably feel safer in the regulated environment that ETFs offer. So when they're loading up, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, they're doing it during the week when the stock market's open. So, not to mention Sundays are usually pretty red. So, I don't know. It's all interesting. It's never as black and white as we want it to be, but I don't know. There's something about it that does something for me. The consistent need to learn, like, tickles my brain. Jim said Wall Street picked up the crown. The miners dropped in 2022, in my opinion. Yeah. Yep. ETH is down 0.04%. Wasn't really up a lot for the day. Let's go to the daily. Let's go to the daily to do our chart readings. Yeah, we only had plus 0.33% close yesterday. So, I mean, we're in an uptrend. So, that's good. Sol was flat, down 0.1. Total 3 is flat with like a little baby upwards trajectory. ADA was flat. Look at how flat. Not the candle that we're in right now, but the candle prior. That was the daily close. 0.9, 0.09 for SNEK, 0.12 for XRP, 0.75. I don't know if we've had a fourth this flat before. Bitcoin, 0.2. 0.2%. That is crazy. So we know we're not coming here to report any crazy price action, but if you're asking me, this is the best time to be active in the market. Not because, no one's paying attention, whatever we can accumulate, but because no one's paying attention, we can figure out what's going on, or at least try to gauge some kind of a game plan. Jim said Wall Street was waiting for the miners to empty their bags. Timed it perfectly too. Miners emptied their bags back in April, but we held, says it all. Yeah? Yep. That actually makes a lot of sense. Let's see, Total 3. Total 3, I like that Total 3 is riding this purple trend line. I really do. Their purple trend line seems quite relevant. Let me make this fractal a little more transparent now that it's significantly less relevant. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to me because we get these long periods of drawn out, just boring, like very minor uptrends, and then we get an explosion, a little double top action, and then another long drawn out period of like barely upwards price action, and then eventually we're going to get an explosion again. And I bet you, let me just measure this from bottom to bottom. This is approximately 90 days, so 3 months. This is, oh my gosh, it's literally 90 days. That's actually kind of sick. I didn't know that was going to happen. So what's nice about that is you have very flat, almost non-existent volume back here. An explosion of volume, slightly smaller explosion. It settles down, and then you got consistently higher volume right here. And we're going to get an explosion. And then is this, like if you were to put a trend line on the volume, is the volume just going to gradually increase over time as well? Kind of makes sense. I like that though. The 90-day theory is pretty awesome. From bottom to bottom, literally from right here to right here is 90 days. And then the same thing over here. From right here to literally the day that we're at today is 90 days. That's crazy. I wonder if that's going to play out. Ooh, I'm excited now. My bullish bias has snuck its way through. Jim said, Look at SPX Gold. I think we go up in a big way. Some kind of news is coming to make the higher low, then boom, in my opinion. Let's see. I just type in SPX Gold. Do I have to put the slash? Does it auto-populate? SPX/gold? I'm still learning, I'm sorry. Okay, you do the slash. Okay. You said, I think we go up in a big way. Some kind of news is coming to make the higher low, then boom. Okay, so you're looking for kind of like this, the higher low, and then boom? Yeah. I don't mind that at all. It does seem to be a recurring theme. Happened twice already. Happened right here on a larger scale. This looks more identical to this. Now it seems to be getting tighter. Maybe there's people are less impatient. They're not willing to manipulate it for as long. I'm just making stuff up, but that's what we got to do, you know. We're all in the dark. We're not Warren Buffett, so we don't know what's going on, you know. I like this chart though. Jim said risk assets have been stuck strength-wise for years against risk off. Last time we overtook gold was the 90s. Interesting. I don't know. I guess the only thing that has me mildly concerned is people like the stock market, man. Look at that. Look at that beautiful inverse head and shoulders textbook. That literally could not have looked better. Did it play out already? Probably. Yeah, frugal target hit. I would have closed if I was trading this based on that inverse head and shoulders. That looks amazing though. That's very satisfying to look at. The only thing that has me mildly concerned about cryptocurrency as a whole is tokenizing stocks. When the stock market goes 24 hours, all of us cryptocurrency degens are going to have to make a decision. Do we want to trade these cryptocurrencies that have some of them no value whatsoever, no actual like tangible utility, or do we want to trade these stocks, these 24-hour penny stocks that also have no value or tangible utility besides the fact that they're shares of a company? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting. Cardano 57.25 broke above its little purple trend line thingy here, so we're still sitting above it, so we'll see if we could do anything from there. SNEK 1892, chilling, quiet. XRP sitting right below 222 at 221.68. It seems to have found support at, what is this, 220? So it looks strong there. Jim said risk assets have been stuck straight. Okay, I read that already. Why did I feel like that was new? HBAR down 0.75% on the day. Little double top action going on here. Little inverse cup and handle. I don't know what the target is usually for that. It also kind of looks like a whale, like poking its head above water. It's like, hello. I don't know what to make out of this. Traditional finance has always been my go-to, but I enjoy crypto. I've never done successfully stocks. I've bought and sold some. I don't know if I've made any profits on them though. And I also sold way too early. I guess maybe I should translate my conviction for crypto over to stocks, diversify, build a stock portfolio out with like quarter, like 25 or 50% of my DCA money, and then see what performs better. That would be an interesting experiment. Problem is, the two stocks that I held with conviction until I didn't because I was an impatient little poor idiot were Roblox. Look at this. Roblox. And are you ready for this one? Reddit. Because I use Reddit all the time. Yep. Bought it when it first launched. Roblox. I don't even know when I bought Roblox. Probably back here. Yeah, that seems about right. That's me. That's my I'm so great at stocks, I pick them and then I just don't hold them. Complete idiot. SWE. What's exciting about SWE is it was in this long downtrend. And it finally seems to have busted out, retested, looks good on the retest, and is now continuing its uptrend. Hopefully, a banana curve. Jim said he's concerned for the... Wait a minute. I also saw that Vitalik is getting paranoid about insider takedown. I wonder if the institutions are applying pressure behind the scenes. He's concerned for the decentralized narrative. Even publicly expressed this. First time I've seen someone admit that decentralization is in danger. I mean, that's definitely, in my opinion, why I enjoy Cardano. Even though the money side of it kind of stinks. But if you think about it, without all the things, all the bells and whistles that everybody else has, Cardano has maintained the top 10. Because it is primarily retail driven, in my opinion. Whether or not you consider that expert or not, I am heavily involved in the Cardano community. And IOHK has no control over anything anymore. Charles has no control over anything anymore. It is 100% entirely up to the community, the D-reps. And my favorite story behind that is when IOHK was trying to push, like, the last update before the true decentralization took over, like a year or two ago. And we were already in governance era, where the community voted on stuff, and they were like, we're ready to push the update. And the community was like, no, we want more testnet. And Charles was pissed. He was so mad. He was like, what do you mean you want more testnet? The update's ready. And the community was like, we don't care. We want a testnet. We want to see that everything works fine. Fix any bugs that we find and whatever. We want a testnet. And they were like, okay, fine. They had no choice. Literally could not push the update without the community. They had to vote. The community voted for the testnet. Testnet was spun up. Testing went through, whatever. When everything was said and done and they were satisfied, the community voted to push the update. And that's probably one of my favorite stories. And it was a really big deal when it happened, and everybody just kind of forgot about it after that. I'm like, that is one of the coolest stories I've ever heard. Because, you know, Charles is a great guy. He's a cool dude, but can be a little bit pompous sometimes. I'm guilty of that as well. I feel like everybody is, especially leaders like him. He's a billionaire. And the cryptocurrency that he created, two of them actually, because he's one of the founding members of Ethereum as well, have been maintained at that top 10 position for almost a decade, which is crazy to think about. But Charles, I don't know, he got outvoted by the community, and it was kind of cool to see. I don't know, it was just interesting observation, in my opinion. I like that Vitalik is concerned about decentralization now, and not when Lido, the liquid staked Ethereum, that the centralized entity Lido has 100% control and voting power over, was put into place. I like that now he's concerned, instead of back then when he literally implemented the centralization of his entire chain. Am I wrong? Where's the lie? Anyways, let's move on. Yeah, I'm excited about SWE. Looking at SWE and going to Ondo, I've seen a similar situation. I think Tyler pointed out the other day that these all broke out of like their daily. So let's go to the daily on all these. What sucks is my stupid little zoomed in 4-hour mess is gonna get in the way of everything. Yeah, that's broken out of the daily. It looks great. SWE, same thing. HBAR, beautiful. XRP, beautiful. SNEK, great. ADA, great. Total 3, great. Sol, great. ETH, I mean, ETH really wasn't in a downtrend to begin with. Jim said, I think he's more concerned about institutional takeover from the inside. And I can see it. Big money wants ETH. Yeah. They're shorting the crap out of it, though, aren't they? I think CME Group, Ethereum shorts. Let's see. Yeah, check this out. This is posted. Let me make sure this was newer. July 5th? Yeah. This is today. Oh. Marty Party. CME Group speculators have taken one of the largest short positions in Ethereum futures in history since January 2025. Grok, according to Grok, the claim that speculators have taken one of the largest short positions in Ethereum futures on CME Group since January 2025 aligns with reports from early 2025. Specifically, hedge funds and other speculators have been noted to hold significant short positions, with over 22,000 short contracts reported by some sources, driven partly by carry trades and bearish bets. This is supported by posts on X and articles indicating a record short interest, particularly highlighted in the February 2025, where carry trades selling CME Ether futures while buying spot ETFs like ETHA, and outright bearish positions were cited as key drivers. Insiders and large players might anticipate a price drop or are positioning for a specific event while possible. The short interest is largely explained by carry trades exploiting the basis between futures and spot prices, not necessarily insider knowledge. However, some outright bearish bets reflect skepticism about Ethereum's performance compared to other chains like Solana. Short interest on Ethereum is at historic highs, with 470 million in short positions correlating with 480 million in ETF inflows. This supports the carry trade narrative, but also highlights potential vulnerability to a squeeze if Ethereum's price rises unexpectedly. Summary: they know something. Hedge funds are implementing the basis trade. Numbers don't lie. It's gonna be interesting. Crypto Z said, "What's up, bro? What's going on, Crypto Z?" Jim said, "Yes, they're suppressing it. I welcome a price drop, but waiting for it to potentially come back down, touch base with 1800 area. People would freak out if that happened." Yeah, that's actually perfectly lines up with our purple trend line too. Look at that. I mean, you can't really deny that that's a possibility. That'd just be silly. We got bear market right here. People would argue they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, we're back at bear market lows," when in reality, bear market low is technically $800. That's so crazy. Dave, what's going on? How's Epic Fail Guy doing? Let's see. Let's go take a look. Come on, come on. Dude, I can't believe Hawk 2 is still around. Where's it at? Epic Fail Guy, Epic Fail Guy, Epic Fail Guy, Epic Fail Guy. Down 33%, not too bad. Little downtrend. I'm not gonna say where I bought, but I did buy some. That downtrend might be caused by me. Not from me selling, but from me buying. Jim said, "People shouldn't be surprised at ETH's turbulence. In my opinion, transitioning from proof of work to proof of stake effectively means the market has to figure you out again." Yeah. Yep. I do thoroughly enjoy, though, the decentralized concern from Vitalik after he handed all of the Ethereum to Lido. That cracks me up, dude. Not the weekly. I want to go back down to the 4-hour. Continue going through our charts. Where were we? Ondo. Downtrend broken. Very nice. 77.75. Looking good. It is sitting above 76.99. Trying to get above 80. We got a confirmed red dot back here, which may or may not have played out. Yeah, it might have played out. We have that nice bounce off of 77. See if it takes off. Aerodrome down 0.55%. Aerodrome is really interesting to me because it's been super strong. This 72 area has been so, like, tremendously strong. It's almost supernatural at this point. So we'll see if it actually does anything. Slower trend line is interesting to me too. Is it that, maybe? I kind of like that. I don't know. From how he's acting, seems like they're ready to replace him and the foundation slowly. The Ethereum Foundation shouldn't even exist anymore, to be completely honest. Unless it's a decentralized entity unaffiliated with Ethereum, just like working for it from the outside at this point. But we know it's not. That's the problem. Pin link. Dave said I bought 3 times. DCA. That's true. That's fair. Totally fair. Pinlink. We still got our inverse Batman Bongo Cat thing going on. We'll see if it does anything. This little hump is a little bit extra this time. Maybe Batman's waving. Who knows, man. 4602. See if it can get back above 60. That's really what I want to see, is it get back above 60. That's my big concern right now for Pinlink specifically. Render. Touching our lower trend line right now. Pretty close, actually. Not quite, but close. To... I don't know. It's at 314 right now, sitting below 315.6. Next stop would be $3 if it lost that and lost our lower trend line. We've been holding the lower trend line pretty strong, though. We only have 2 touches, though. So, it's kind of a waiting game for Render. I do kind of like, though, that it did kind of start to deviate. Let's see if we get a shock to the upside. Look at this. This thing was going slow, and then it hit the bottom down here. Just look at this for a second. This is actually really interesting. Right here, we were riding this lovely trend line. Everyone was probably like, oh, it's getting rocky, getting turbulent. And then it did this. It broke. It bounced right here. Broke below. They probably freaked out. Right here, this bounce and then this break below. Everyone's probably like, short it. Open a short. And then it went, boop, bam. Just hard explosion to the upside. What is that? 25% move. That's huge. So, Render might be setting up to melt faces, and that pattern specifically leads me to believe that that's possible with all of our current alts. With their little downtrend breaking, very shallow break to the upside. Are we going to get a violent move? That'd be pretty sick. Jim said it would be interesting to see the transition if it did happen. Ethereum would become the first corporation in the blockchain space, I guess, officially anyway. It kind of makes sense too, honestly. Ethereum would be the chain to do it on. Like, if they weren't going to try to be reliant, I think of the blockchains as a road, and layer 2s are businesses with their driveways like connected to the road. The corporations want to buy the road. They want to own the road at this point. They want the road to pay them. They don't want to have to worry about a business, brick and mortar, whatever the crap within the metaphor. They want to own the road, and Ethereum is probably that road. Otherwise, my alternative would be, why don't they just build on Solana, but they don't want to build on anywhere. They just want to have control over the road entirely. They want to tax people to use the road. I don't know if the metaphor works, but it kind of makes sense in my brain. Polkadot down 0.39% on the day. Polkadot's been very flat down here. 334. It's sitting above 333, which is good, but interesting pattern, definitely. See, we got this weird flat and then bust to the upside. Weird flat, bust to the upside. I don't even know what else. We're in a weird flat right now. So, honestly, if we bust to the upside tomorrow or Monday, I would not be surprised. Sailor said the same thing. Did he? That's actually kind of sick. That's like when you play guitar and you come up with something really good. You know, like, you show your buddy, like, oh, dude, check this out. And you play it. And they're like, oh my gosh, that sounds just like blah, blah, blah from so-and-so. And you're like, what? And they turn it on and it's like almost identical. You're like, dang it. There's a very strong possibility that you heard that song before. Carlos A, coming in trying to scam my viewers. Get the hell out of here, my guy. What do I do? Remove? Yeah. Bye-bye, Carlos. Drummer said JJ108 hates us. 150. Bro, run over 22. Sorry, my friend. I went to a haunted house, though. Did you see my picture? Let me show you my cool-ass picture. Hang on. Oh. Check this out. Sick haunted house. It was pretty cool. Super spooky. Beautiful home. I don't know why they don't make homes like this anymore. Gorgeous. even without all of the embellishments, if you want to make it like cost effective, maybe not as many windows and whatever, give me a mansard roof, and you can have 3 stories all day long, dude. You can even do 2 stories and it'll still look cool. But man, they do not build things like they used to. This house is made up of almost entirely red cedar, so it has not rotted at all whatsoever. It's got a little bit of roof damage, some leaks and stuff, but the ceiling, the floors, the walls, everything is immaculate, man. The only thing that they need like fixed is a couple of floorboards. It's crazy. Beautiful, beautiful home though. Like wow. Let's see. Jim said still waiting to see if Sailor gets caught being unscrupulous like in 2000. What is that from? For a ranch style house, I can dig a basement if need be. Nah. I like me some 2-story houses. I see the appeal with ranch style homes though. Arrowmaker, what's going on, Arrowmaker? Jim said, yep, I read that. Drummer said, yeah, did you see Ghost of Satoshi? No. I made a joke about Cardano though, because everyone always calls Cardano a ghost chain. I was like, I didn't see any Cardanos. This is such a stupid joke. So what's interesting to me about Farcoin, we pointed this out already, is this ascending wedge tends to break up, or it has at least in recent history. And I've pointed out a million times, whenever there's any kind of wedge scenario, the first breakout is almost always the fake out. And we got one right here, and then it poked its head above, and it rejected it at 128, came back down to retest. We're currently on that bottom trend line. If Farcoin, it's so hard to say that with a straight face. If Farcoin can hold support here and show some strength and the market can cooperate, we might get a bust to the upside, which would be very exciting. You know, letting the gas loose a little bit, you know? Everybody loves it when farts explode. When Farcoin explodes. Interesting banana curve right here as well. Jim said he settled without admitting fault. Ooh. Is that unscrupulous? I'm assuming is with female character. Let me look this up. Michael Saylor. Tax fraud? Are we talking tax fraud? Or the class action you said in the 2000s? I don't know. I can't find a class action. No, okay, yeah, this is different. The tax fraud one is from recent. Lawsuit early 2000s. Do people just sue you when you get money? The SEC, yeah, fraud. Interesting. Overstated its revenues and earnings from 98 to 2000, reporting profits from when the company should have reported losses. Ooh, dang. What if they just had a bad paperwork? That's kind of funny. Tax fraud is the most recent. Yeah, I saw that. Not much, bro. Sold my Bitcoin at 110, 400. Nice. Entered 98.5 with 75x to make back my money. Dang. Dude, you got bigger balls than me. I think I played once with like 50x just for fun with like $5. I don't remember what came of it, but I was freaking out the whole time. I think that would be fun. Do like $5 to $10. Maybe every once a week we can do like a really high leverage trade on stream. We'll try to find a day that's like volatile. His company IPO'd in 98. He literally fudged the numbers the entire time. That's funny, dude. That's really funny. Errormaker said, we got to, what, some days for the appeal to be dropped? We gotta wait for, I can't read. We have to wait some days for the appeal to be dropped. Alright, gas, 0.93 in the negative at the moment. R size, really quiet. Everything's very quiet. The momentum wave is almost entirely oversold, which is exciting. Wonder if that's a signal. We're sitting below 76.29. We seem to have some kind of strong support here, though. Around 73-ish. Definitely been quiet. Yeah, see, it just reminds me of all these. Look, spike down, sideways. This one dumped. And then we get spike down, sideways, pump. Spike down, sideways. I mean, am I wrong? They do go both ways in this scenario, but it's observation, man. Drummer said, since you weren't on, I watched another stream, and the guy clicked long instead of short and didn't notice till he was negative 400. Chat kept trying to tell him. Dang. That's where I try to look at my chat, man. Jim said the company went to $330 in 2000. We recently got back there. .com was insane. Honestly, software companies are just fascinating to me because the only time I've ever seen like advertisements for them, they're like trying to sell some weird like software for like commercial use, and it's like the weirdest thing. They're like Monday.com or whatever, Oracle, and I'm like, what do they even do? And they do a bunch of stuff that like the Google Suite offers for free, and I'm like, people pay for this? It's the weirdest thing to me, man. I don't know. I can't comprehend it. I feel like we're gonna be in this weird spot soon where the entire planet is going to be forced to modernize, and there's gonna be a bunch of weird, like archaic tech companies that can't because of whatever weird way they do business or like whatever weird product they're used to selling. That stuff's going to become so irrelevant and it's going to drop. So, yeah, see? Most software companies are scams. That's what I feel, dude. And I feel like an idiot thinking that because they're like multi-billion-dollar valuations. And I'm like, it's a scam. Like, who the hell am I? But I look at what they sell and I'm like, I would never use this. I would never use this. I could never even think of a reason to have that in my company. I'm like, what do I need that for? And they're paying millions of dollars out per month. Wouldn't it be cheaper to hire somebody to just build that for you? I don't know, man. It's goofy to me. It's so goofy. Just said Sailor basically sold VCs and the promise of next-gen Excel business software if it was legit. I can only imagine. Yeah, I have no idea, dude. I have no clue. No clue. No clue what the hell he ever did. I remember watching an interview with him, and he was talking about how cash rich they were, and nobody cared that they were cash rich, so they started putting it into Bitcoin, and it started actually, like, accumulating attention. Airmaker said for aquaculture industry, all free like crypto. Yeah. Avalanche. What did we say about Cass? I don't know. I want to see Cass break up. Oh yeah, I said it's got that weird spike sideways. This one dumped this, and then we did another spike sideways. This one is kind of a double bottom though, so I guess I would just look for that. Otherwise, look for that pump. Airmaker said it's insane the scams they pull with big farmers. Yeah, I believe that for sure. Avalanche down 0.73 on the day. It is breaking out of a downtrend, which is great. That's what we like to see. Is it going to go anywhere? Probably. Hopefully up is that answer. It seems to be holding really strong at 16. 16 seems to be very, very strong support for Avalanche. I will say, worst case, I think our yellow trend line is going to be very strong support. It's kind of doing what we were talking about with ETH earlier. Dude, Carlos A, go away. How do I ban you? Hide user on this channel? Okay, good. What an idiot. People can't even scam good, man. Nobody wants your weird Elon Musk coin. Avalanche. Yeah, 1779. ETH, we were talking about ETH earlier, touching that lower trend line, this legacy trend line. It seems like Avalanche is definitely potentially heading that way. Which stinks because it could go all the way down to like 12, 13 bucks, which I'm sure won't feel good for people that loaded up maybe at 10, but you gotta figure it out, man. We had a little like micro peak, and we're kind of way back down here now. But we did that already once and we came right back up. So what's going to happen this time? Is it going to go even further this time? Is this all just one big accumulation with some volatility in between? Jim said, any crypto holding macro structure like a stock as a winner for long-term holdings. Drummer said, what platform is he on? I go to troll if he comes back, lol. Who knows, man? I can view his deleted message. Let's look at it. It says, I have no job and I try to scam people because I refuse to work and the state won't give me any more disability. Oh, dang. That seems really weirdly honest. Let's get back down to the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, hopefully Avalanche doesn't go that low, but who knows, man. Like I said, we did it before, and then we skyrocketed right back up to those highs, so it's definitely a weird, like, psychological scenario unfolding on all of these coins. Arrowmaker said the whole food industry is becoming more open, transparent like crypto. Nice. You know what I bet you they're not using? VeChain for their supply chain management. Chainlink. See, Chainlink was a lot more subtle about this trend break. Blockchain concept into food. Like, it's got that break of that downtrend, but is it going to go anywhere? Because it did that same thing right back here. See if that is going to play out like that. We should at least get those two little pumpy pumps soonish. Jim said, well, the food industry has had controversy after controversy and large caps for the last 6 years. Interesting. So I would imagine they'd like to pivot. Yeah. They're about to be tariffed to death, though. Anyone importing, at least. Chainlink. See, Chainlink is so reliable. It's already touched this. It's very, very close right now. I think. Well, maybe. Yeah, no, it's actually really not that far. From 13 down to 8. That's better than 18 down to 12. I don't know. That's probably about the same. JJ no math good sometimes. Arrowmaker said, yeah, I'm doing something like it. But the seafood in Spanish language only? Alright. I got some ideas bouncing around my head. None of it's for important stuff like that, though. Mine's all stupid. Like, I have an idea for a dating app, even though I haven't dated anybody in like 20 years. You know? For some reason, I feel like I'm good at it. In my brain, I'm like, oh, I could matchmake. Chainlink. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting devil bottom vibes right now. We'll see. Doge down 0.43% on the day. See, Doge's downside is interesting because it didn't really have an uptrend until after, like, it launched, or it was on Bing X in 2021 right here, and it was very flat around 5 cents up until 2023. God, that's so crazy that it went down that low. After all the Elon stuff, went right back down to 5 cents. But after that, we established like a proper uptrend. Let me see if there's a chart that goes back further, because I know it's further, right? Finance? Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so there was an established uptrend-ish. I would go with that. Little break below don't hurt. Airmaker said, LOL, that's sketch. My wife will be on it. Checking if I'm in or something. So, I'm not going to give away my idea. Jim said, on the proper crypto chart for Doge, the macro structure is beautiful. I mean, it's got an uptrend, and it's holding it. Even if I went down here. What's the worst case scenario for Doge? 10 cents? No, 8 cents? 8 or 9? Looks way better than logarithmic. I hate log. I hate log so much. Log on the monthly. I guess my problem with log stems back to people being like, what is this stupid, you're not on log? Like, insisting that I had to be on log all the time. And I was like, fuck you, dude. Who the hell are you? It was the weirdest thing, man. Those people crack me up. Like, they're so insecure about their own, the way that they do TA, they're like, everybody else is wrong. It's so strange, man. This does look good, though. I mean, it's got a bounce, man. It's doing this right now. And it's about to do this. Am I wrong? I don't trade volatility, so I enjoy looking at log, track, macro structure. Yeah, macro, it seems nice on macro. It does. I just don't like how much it changed the chart. I don't know. I'm an idiot. I prefer my elementary school charting methods. But yeah, Doge does look good. Like I said, I guess the problem is the worst case scenario right now is like a 50% decline. So, triangle. Full flag. Without the flagpole, yeah. On log. Unless you're talking about this. It's craziness. Who knows, man? Polygon Matic pole. I like the little dinosaur in the corner. 0.1807. Oops. So this thing's sitting above 1787, which is great. Kind of nice bounce up to 1660. Rejection at 1916 twice. So what are we doing here? We got like a M. Potentially turning into a W. I'm just making stuff up. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see one of these. Comes back down. Touches 1660 again. You want that support though, no matter what. You got unconfirmed red dot here. Green dot on the momentum wave, signaling this uptrend. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of quiet. Volume's kind of starting to peek its head out. There's this lady that's been parking here. And she's been backing into the spot, but she goes like 1 mile per hour. And it's weird, man. I don't like it. What are the male Karens called? Ken? I don't know. It bugs me, man. She doesn't even live in this building. She like lives across the parking lot. Why are you parking here? Can we look at XAU USD and invert the chart? I want to see how weak the dollar has gotten. LOL. Error maker says the line on the tops. The line on the tops will show it. Jim said no need for log on the daily. Let's look at XAU USD. Let me go through these last two. We got near. Yeah, dude, she does like a 10-point turn to back into the spot perfectly. She's right next to my work van. There's a million other spots in the whole parking lot. I don't want to be that a-hole that goes out there and like, you can park here. You know, because anybody can park wherever the hell they want. Never had somebody park next to my work van before, though. Been here for way too long. Okay. Near 212. Very quiet. There's really nothing going on here. We got this red dot, which resulted in some downside, and now we're just kind of going sideways. And even the RSI is flat, dude. We got a green dot on the momentum wave, which was for like this one little green candle right there that has been bearishly engulfed by this current 4-hour candle. We're just kind of stuck perfectly in the middle of $2 and $2.21. And Chili's. Chili's also not a whole lot to write home about. We got this downtrend, breaking out of it with like a sideways chop, which is great. A lot of red volume right there on this dump. Besides that, though, kind of quiet. Fake out, breakout, break back in, broke out, retest, double bottom. See if we result in some upside. Okay, XAU USD. Oops. And invert the chart. Invert scale. Hey. You got a little V. It seems kind of flat. This is on the daily. So since February, it's been very flat since February. You got this little dumperoonie right here. Swift recovery though. I guess swift recovery. A little vague. From February to June. So I guess that's not swift. That's 7 months. 6 to 7 months. But still. Yeah, February 2024 to February 2025. So that's a no slash. What? I don't know if I can do that. XAUUSD. Oh, what the hell was I looking at? Damn it. Okay, we're inverted already. How many times does that happen? April 17th till now it's been flat. So 3 months. Yeah. Arrow Maker said good night all. Need to get some sleep. Take it easy, man. Happy Saturday. Thanks for stopping by. Smashing the like button. Enjoy your weekend, man. Gold inverted is the purchasing power of the dollar. Okay. I measure my purchasing power on how much my groceries cost and gas. I think one of my favorite narratives this entire presidency so far of Trump's is gas has gone down so much. Literally, it went down for like maybe like 2 or 3 days, like very early on. It has remained $3.39 since like his inauguration. There was literally like 2 or 3 days when it went maybe even below $3 for like a brief, like half of a day. But it has been consistently. It's probably been, if you average it out, $3.38 throughout my entire local area for the past 6 months. It's crazy. So I kind of crack up whenever they're like, the gas prices are down so much. We just now got lower egg prices. They were talking about lower egg prices like 3-4 months ago. Tony said, JJ, pull the fixed range volume profile on that range. This bad boy right here. I forget which one. It's right here. Yeah. This guy. Yeah. Perfectly centered right there. Jim said oil's still trying to roll over to sub $40 a barrel. It's hard to tank the gas price before that. Oil companies have private hedge firms that short their industry to prevent price depreciation. Interesting. I think my favorite is the Middle East. I think the Saudis. I don't know who exactly. I think it's the Saudis. But there's like some whole like oil industry people in the United States. It's like, we want a handshake, we want a deal, we want to do all of this stuff so that we can help control the price with you. And they're like, no. We'll tell you what you're going to pay, and you're going to pay it. And the United States the whole time, they're like, let's make a deal, let's make a deal. These guys are just like, nah. You're just going to pay what we want you to pay us. Otherwise, you can buy it somewhere else. That makes me so happy. Because they're just like, no, we don't want to deal with you. We don't want to do a deal. We're just going to sell it to you for what we want to sell it for. I don't know. You got to respect it. No matter what, you got to respect it. Okay. Jim said they understand how the market works. They spend billions on hedge funds. Yep. Monsters, man. I love it. Not in a bad way. Monsters in like, bricks. I think it's kind of badass. I mean, it sucks for us at the, bottom of the barrel, but it is what it is. You gotta respect it no matter what. Silver, interestingly enough, looks very similar to that chart that we are just looking at. Is this inverted? Yes, it is. That's why. Okay, 36.90. This thing's about to hit 37 again. That's so crazy to me. Kind of blowing my mind. What do we think silver's going to go to? Because there's like people, the conspiracy people are talking about it just going nuts now. Tony said movement at futures open tomorrow. Tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday, that's right. I forget how funky the timeline is for CME and stuff. Yeah, silver's about to cross 37 again. It's so crazy that it's actually sustained a move up here. It's kind of blowing my mind. I remember it was 33 for like, it seemed like forever. Jim said, "Hey, Jamie Dimond will just short silver again." Yeah, man. Who knows? I got copper. I'm a copper guy. I got some silver. Nothing crazy though. MicroStrategy, still quiet. DXY, a little bit sloppy, a little bit choppy. NASDAQ and S&P looking good. Looking good. S&P looks amazing. Bitcoin dominant, 65.49, and Bitcoin itself, 108.96. Look at this. Look at this. It is literally almost perfectly centered in between these two liquidation points. Just give me a straight line right here. Ready? Right there. I'm going to copy paste. I'm going to take this one now without changing the size. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Literally, if I were to do this little gap, that is where the price has been this entire time. What is going on? That's so crazy to me. Jim said copper is actually going to squeeze soon. Depth to mine is becoming a problem for major companies. Interesting. I didn't know that. Might have to load up on some more. I got a pound. I got a little 1 pound bar of copper. It's like right here, I think. Hold on. I'm actually pretty proud of this. I bought it from a pawn shop. I was like, "What do you want for that?" He's like, "You can take it." He like gave me a really good deal on it. It's like, "You don't want it anymore?" It's pretty sick. Can't get it out of here. What the hell? It's like stuck. Here we go. Got it. Okay, ready? Let me go to my big cam. I'm very proud of this. It is from 2012. 1 troy pound USA 0.999 fine copper. It's so filthy. I don't know. It's cool though. Cool little memento. I think I have to flip my camera too. Flip the damn camera. Properties. Nope. How do I do this? Transform. Flip horizontal. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Copper. Like you guys get crap. You're like, "Oh shit." Oh, you like everyone's looking at their phone. They're like, "Whoa, holy shit. That's so sick." I just wasted so much time doing that. Trevor said, "When I found out you can grow silver, I stopped trading silver." What did they just make? Didn't they just make gold in the Large Hadron Collider or whatever? They made something. What happened to my webcam down here? Why is it gone? Did I do that? Okay. Jim says, "Nice bar, JJ." Thank you. They've dried up a lot of the easy copper. Interesting. Oh, look at Bitcoin doing a thing now. Now that I pointed out its silly little range, it's gonna do something fun now. Not. This is the most boring price action we've had on the weekend in a long time. Look at that, man. Look at that. Jim said, "I hold physical commodities, so I can't help but appreciate seeing someone else hold physical." Dude, I love it. It's a lot of fun. I will say, I definitely enjoy bars more than coins. Coins are neat, but bars, man, there's something about bars that are just way different. Let me see, do I have any? I don't know if I have any on me actively. I got some smaller copper bars too. Hold on. Proud of this one as well. Ready? Let me take it out of this thing. I know I'm not supposed to touch it, but I don't care. This one's 1 AVDP ounce. Big cam again. Let me flip it again. I'm messing it up. Webcam, right click, transform. Why can't I do it? Hello? Right click, transform. There we go, flip horizontal. There we go. Okay. Another one. Ready? Yeah. It's got the buffalo. If you can't see it. There we go. Pretty cool. The bar is so much cooler than the coin. I got coins too, but what's the point of looking at those? It's a circle. Who cares? Nobody cares about the dang circle. Calm down. Jim said bars are neat because they feel heavy duty. The coins you need to display for the same effect, but the bar you can feel the weight. I just like the shape better, man. It's unique. Everyone's got coins in their pocket. Nobody cares about the damn coins anymore. Give me something rectangular. Anything else? Nope. I have coins, but I'm not showing those off. Nobody cares about coins. I showed off my little silver things, didn't I? Should I do those too? We're doing the commodities hour. Look at Bitcoin's so boring. We're talking about silver and copper. It's ridiculous. Hold on, let me grab my Okay, these I also got a pawn shop. And I bought them because they're fun and small and weird. I wish I could like take the camera and put it somewhere. Alright, this is the last time, I swear. Flip horizontal. Okay, this one is 1 gram of fine silver. It's in this crazy coin form. A baby coin. And then we got another one. This one is 1/10 ounce Guinea silver. I don't know what Guinea means. I thought that was a derogatory term for Italian people. I'm Italian though, so I can say it. We got another. This one's got some goofy looking mother. Oh, that's the same one. Same thing, same thing. These were why I bought these. You hold any Pokemon? Yes, I do. These are 1 gram fine silver, just little baby bars. And they look so cool. Hold on. I gotta get the proper. Look how cool that is. They got little words on them. They're really hard to see. It's the coolest thing, though. I'm like, I like these stupid little silver bars. I want those. Alright, let's show off the Pokemon, too. We're doing commodities hour now. Clip asking the important questions. Hell yeah. Alright, are you ready? You ready to have your mind blown? Let me actually just... I have to get that. Give me 1 second. I also think I have to deactivate my camera to fix it. Hold on. Webcam. Deactivate. Activate. Okay, I'm going to be bright for a second while it adjusts. Am I good? Let me try to find my Pokemon cards. Alright, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm going to stay here, but you're not going to see me because I have to figure out where the hell I put my cards. Where did I put them? We just looked at them the other day. It might have been like a week ago. Might hit more like a month, but where did I put those cards? Oh boy. I cannot find them. In here? No. Oh yeah, there. Okay, I found them. Okay. And we're back. Let's go big. Let's flip it again. I keep doing this. Sorry. Flip horizontal. Okay. Oh, I just ruined it. Great. Can I group them? Hang on. Group selected items, and then here we go. All right, Pokemon time. Now these are packaged because I was going to sell them. And then I decided not to. And I'm glad I decided not to because I think that they're worth a lot more now. Okay. We got Hitmonlee and Rocket's Hitmonchan. These are all like base set, like OG cards from my own personal collection. We got like base set, Gym Heroes, Fossil. We got Lapras, Magneton, and what is his name? Kazakhstan? Kangaskhan? Kazakhstan? Most of these are hollow. Blissey's one of my favorites. Kangaskhan. I got some Shadowless as well. We got a hollow Fossil Haunter. Raichu. An Unknown A. We got a Meowth promo. There's a GB on that. I'm not sure if that means that it came with a Game Boy or something. I have my Game Boy Advance SP though. Vaporeon. I'm very proud of all my EV evolutions that I got. Am I surprised the Dark Golbat and the Rockets and everything, like all those guys are worth so much more? When I was a kid, I never wanted those ones. I'm like, why do I want someone else's Pokemon? But now those ones are worth way more than everything else. I'm like, shoot. So, okay, here we have a holographic Wigglytuff, Rocket Snorlax, and then we have a base set Shadowless Nidorino. See how there's no shadow around the picture frame compared to like Rocket Snorlax, see the drop shadow, and the Wigglytuff. There's no shadow around the Nidorino. The Shadowless are worth a lot more. We got a Mewtwo, Clefairy, and Dark Magneton. These are just a few of my cards. You guys got me in like 7-year-old showing off my crap mode. People do this though, man. It's a lot of fun. Lieutenant Surge's Magneton, Muck, and Dark Weezing. Do you buy any new sets? I do not. Very rarely will I buy some, and my daughter opens them, or my fiance. She's got like, they got their own collection going on of the newer stuff. Here we got a Jolteon. Go with my EV evolutions. But yeah, mine are all from when I was a kid. Early 2000s. Late 90s. I don't know, I think they started making these in like 99, so late 90s is kind of pushing it to say, but I vividly remember my dad like taking me to Dunham's to like buy stuff for hockey, and I figured out that they had Pokemon cards. I'm like, can we get Pokemon cards? I remember he was pissed. This Ditto I think is worth a lot. I think I'm gonna get that graded. It's the first edition promo, or not promo, first edition Fossil, holographic, and then Chansey and Clefable. That's it. Out of this chunk, that is all of them. I'm gonna get my binders up. You know what disappointed me? I pulled these out like 5-6 years ago to price them all, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, Pokemon, because I had the same mindset that I had when I was a kid. I was like, Pokemon, it's not going to be worth nearly as much as my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because Yu-Gi-Oh is way more cool and mature, and I could not have been more wrong. Pleasantly surprised that my Pokemon cards are worth several $1,000s, potentially tens of thousands now. And I literally, I'm like, no joke, I put so much like time and effort and like passion into my stupid Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I priced them, no joke, the entire set that I have, like $200-300. I'm like, what the hell? I'm so disappointed. I'm like, dude, why did Yu-Gi-Oh overprint everything? Just completely devalued the crap out of all of their cards. I'm like, dang. But yeah, that's it. Those are my Pokemon cards. I thoroughly enjoyed collecting them. I have not. I haven't had the balls to send any away to get them graded yet, but I've thought about it. I have thought about it. Bitcoin's still being boring. We got some news articles to go through. Pentoshi, this one was funny. So we got the big beautiful bill was signed. Every U.S. child will receive a $1,000 S&P 500 starter account at birth once President Trump signed the Better, or whatever the hell it's called. I keep trying to say Better Business Bureau. Pentoshi kind of reiterated the whole thing. He said, anytime a child is minted, a $1,000 market buy will now happen, and then have a 18-year cliff with a full unlock on the 18th year. I thought it was kind of funny. Half a dozen states are pushing to amend the U.S. Constitution to term limit members of Congress. I think they should do that anyways. Stock Money Lizards posted, despite the fact that we have been in a 2.5-year bull run, there will be another massive leg up this year. Satoshi Meter has a lot of room to grow. Love it. Watching Guru, fun fact, less than 7% of the global population is invested in cryptocurrency. Let's freaking go. Bitcoin is up over 350% since Jim Cramer told investors to sell back in 2023. What an idiot. That's very embarrassing. Robert Kiyosaki hopes Bitcoin crashes so he can buy more. I love this. Clickbait losers keep warning of a crash to scare off speculators. I love it, dude. Robert Kiyosaki, absolute legend. Next we got altcoins forming a falling wedge that is more than 4 years in the making. That's huge. Let's see if it ends up being relevant. We got 3 hits to the upside, 3 hits to the downside. So it's kind of right at that tipping point of actually being a decent pattern. Michael Van de Poppe posted, no wonder there's literally zero interest in altcoins. The past 5 months, Bitcoin has significantly been holding up stronger than most alts. However, there's an end to everything. Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin is the next phase towards altcoin momentum. Exciting stuff. We got the buy the dip strategy has been remarkably effective this year. The cumulative return from buying the NASDAQ 100 after a down day has been 32% year to date, the highest in 5 years. At this pace, 2025 is on track to record the best year for the strategy since at least 1985. This has even outperformed the returns seen during the dot-com bubble, years of 1998 and 1999. By comparison, the return at this point last year was just 5%. This comes as the NASDAQ 100 has been down 51 out of 124 trading days so far this year. Volatility is a trading opportunity. I couldn't agree more. And we have been seriously lacking volatility in the altcoin market. We got U.S. Secret Service launches global operation to combat crypto scams. This one's really exciting. Hopefully a bunch of scammers get absolutely wrecked and put behind bars. Strike Finance on Cardano, which is decentralized perpetual trading, not financial advice. We're quickly catching up to Hyperliquid's ADA open interest. Since opening liquidity deposits 3 weeks ago, we already have 25% of their ADA open interest. Hyperliquid 20 million, Strike 5 million. Protocol metrics continue to skyrocket. Basically, the ADA deposited into Strike is valued at $5 million US, while Hyperliquid, their deposits are valued at 20 million. So, exciting stuff. Next, we got Elon Musk officially launches the American Party. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom. So, this one's kind of crazy. We'll see what comes of it, though. Maybe this is all part of the plan for them to transition to some new system. Charles Hoskinson's episode on the Sean Ryan podcast is about to be published. Pretty exciting. And then last but not least, we got Marty Party posting Bitcoin Wyckoff accumulation 2025 target remains intact. Let's freaking go. He's looking for 160K. That would be crazy. Wyckoff accumulation February through July 2025. Interesting. Yeah, should be fun time, man. See where she takes us. I'm excited. Along for the ride. I'm glad you guys are along for the ride as well. Quick portfolio update. 1K to 10K Grok portfolio down $205. Not doing so hot. Currently being held up by Proppy, Soul, Fetch, Render, and Ondo. Being dragged down by ADA, SHIB, Aptos, Near, and Doge. Next, we got our Memecoin portfolio is down $199. SNEK still the worst performer. Pretty steady at $85-$90 though. And then last but not least, our narrative portfolio, the best performer and my favorite by far, still in profit, $26.97. This portfolio is made up of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one real-world asset coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, and one gaming coin, and it's absolutely killing it. We only have 2 assets that are negative in this. We got VeChain, which is down $26, and Mana, which is down $7. Tao's in profit $10, Fetch is in profit $11, and Pepe is in profit $37. This portfolio is just doing amazing, blowing my mind. Bitcoin apparently is just stuck at 108, 37, and 41 cents for forever. It will never be another price ever again. I don't think we've ever seen anything this sideways before. It's kind of freaking me out. But hey, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Guys, I think this is where I love and leave you. I appreciate you guys for joining me so late at night. Just make sure you smash the like button. Helps other people see the streams. Tomorrow, we should be back to our regularly scheduled programming for the weekly close and the daily close. Appreciate you guys for putting up with me for this holiday weekend. As always, Bitcoin says to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Happy Saturday. Good night. And happy trading.